Waited and waited and waited for the Phillies to get it going tonight. 3-0 Milwaukee lead. Phillies finally caught up, and then Milwaukee raised its game, and the Phillies failed to keep up. 5-3 Milwaukee tonight, but that's the bad news. The good news is Philly's still in that last wild card spot and rising. Ricky Pitalico, Ben Davis, I'm Michael Barkan, John Kruk in a moment. There were so many ways in which the Phillies beat themselves tonight. What was the first thing that impressed you?
I'm going to start with the relievers, and I'm going to go right to Bellotti. And the reason why I say that is you're going at the bottom of the Brewers lineup, okay? And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, all right, what pitches am I throwing, or what do I think he's going to throw? And I'm guessing along with him that shouldn't happen. And especially to Joey Wiemer, who couldn't hit the broadside of a barn if you threw it on the outside part of the plate. He really couldn't. Why Bellotti's coming into this guy, I'm not really sure, and I know he threw a slider, but if you look at JT, he's set up out over the middle of the plate, leaves it on the inside part of the plate, he ends up getting a hit. They end up scoring runs in that inning. Two batters later, it was William Contreras. I said, if I'm Contreras, I'm erasing the fastball, looking for a slider. He gives him a slider right out over the middle of the plate. You got to be smarter than this. You got to be able to make your pitches. This is where the Phillies are hurting in a sense of missing Alvarado and Sir Anthony.
Mm-hmm. Benny, your impressions of this one?
Well, over the last 37 games, tonight's game was number 38. They've been 27-10 going into tonight's ball game. It was a very un-Phillies-like Phillies game this evening. They beat themselves defensively. They ran themselves out of an inning there in the ninth inning. Although you can't fault Bryson Stott for trying to get to advance to second base. It was a heck of a throw by Contreras, but overall they didn't hit. Were they 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position? They left 4 on base. It just wasn't a very inspiring game offensively.
Yeah. Let's go to John Kruk across the street at CBP. Called tonight's game with Tom McCarthy. John, there were so many parts of this game where it fell apart for the Phillies, and you still thought, hey, they're the Phillies. The way they're playing, they're going to come back and win it. They failed to do that. What was the prime reason in your view?
They didn't execute pitches when they needed to, leaving guys runners in scoring position. But look, I heard Ben. They won 27-10 their last 37 games.
Coming in.
This is going to happen. And look, you got to give them credit for the fight. You had to. I thought it was a good move with Bryson Stott, but. Trying to steal second in that situation. It took a great throw by Contreras, and it also took Devin Williams to hold the ball for as long as he could before the pitch timer thing ran out, and he kind of froze Bryson a little bit, and that could have added to, helped Contreras with catching him stealing.
Yeah.
Very vicious, but they're kind of like that green fly at the beach.
Yeah.
It just won't go away. They're just pains
slow.
In every at-bat. They're not going to crush you with the long ball. But, I mean, hitting ball gap to gap, they did that tonight.
Phillies still occupy the final wild card spot. I realize they have designs on much better, but certainly you'd rather be in the playoffs right now after 95 games than not. How about this, Ben? The chances that they could have, and I know you can't do this in Major League Baseball, but they beat them last night. They don't look that great, Milwaukee. And then you got Colin Ray, who's given up 16 earned runs in his last 5 appearances, has not pitched great by any means. They thought, we got this.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a slugfest tonight on the Phillies' behalf. It just wasn't that way. Ray was okay. What did he throw? 74 pitches, 54 for strikes. He did throw a lot more cutters tonight. I don't know if that was in the game plan or not, but it seemed like he had a good feel for it. And the Phillies hitters, they just did miss just a couple. Bryce Harper hit the ball extremely hard his first couple at bats. Nothing to show for it. Trey Turner had a silent night, and obviously Schwarber knocked in a pair, but really it's kind of lackadaisical against Colin Ray. I just thought it was going to be an offensive outburst tonight by the Phillies. Didn't happen. Get them more.
I didn't think they were very patient early on.
No.
I thought offensively, kind of jumping out at the ball a little bit early in this game, and then they had that one inning where it looked like things were going to start to turn around. No, it just didn't happen.
Just 74 pitches for Ray through 5 innings. You know, talk about a guy that's not very overpowering. Phillies kind of let him off the hook.
But you know who was overpowering is their bullpen. Milwaukee's bullpen.
They are.
And you figured if I can get a guy in a scoring position, or two guys, then it would have been, then maybe we don't have to string 3 or 4 together. All we need is that one big knock. And if Bowen would have been able to do that, obviously you tie the ball game up. But to no avail, it was Devin Williams throwing that airbender of a changeup, and game's over. So, but I have no issue with it. I don't, because hey, you got to try to make things happen against a closer as quality as Devin Williams.
You have an issue with it?
I don't know if I would have done it. I mean, I will say I don't really say it was a terrible move. I mean, he's thrown out. That's what makes it a bad move. If he was safe at second, there's nobody saying a word. Everybody's saying that's a great play by Rob Thomson, having him steal and this and that. But you know what? He was thrown out. That's the bottom line. You took an opportunity away. Then all of a sudden, you know, Bohm's in an 0-2 count, and that game was over.
All right, let's hear what Rob Thomson has to say about it. Here is the manager post-game clubhouse.
I think Colin Ray was able to do early on to keep against
It's Cutter. And he threw strikes, and Cutter was good. He kept us off balance. Finally, we got through to him with Castellanos, the home run, and then strung it together the next inning. Great base running by Marsh, scoring from first base, and great send by Dusty. But, you know, I thought Sanchi did a great job. He gave up the 3 in the second inning, but kept battling, kept pitching, kept pounding the strike zone, and gave us 5 innings. And I thought, you know, when he came out of that game, I thought we were going to win that game.
In the 9th inning there, is that just a stop go in the second? Is that just like trying to make them make a play? Or?
Yeah, you know, we're getting slow times on Williams, and Sauter's a pretty good base stealer. Catcher made a heck of a throw, but we thought that base could have been stolen.
What happened with Harper on the at-bat against Milner?
I guess he didn't think he was going to throw him a strike, so until, you know, he was really taken until two strikes, basically. That's what it looked like.
Felt like there were a bunch of times tonight where there were loud, long flyouts, and the Bohm one went right to the wall.
Yeah.
What was your take on all the outs? It seemed like could be something, but ended up not being something.
Yeah, we thought there was a couple home runs. That's the way it goes, you know. But they barreled up the ball, just hit it too high. So.
What do you think of Sanchez?
I thought it was good. You know, your 5th starter gives you 5 innings, gives up 3 runs, and keeps you in the game. That's what you're looking for, and he did it. And you know, you see a lot of guys that give up 3 in the second inning there, and they just kind of collapse. But he didn't. He kept pitching, and I'm proud of him for that.